gold and silver. Both these teams guaranteed a medal. That's the ultimate grudge match, isn't it? It's Australia against New Zealand. This is the men's team pursuit final. The Australians 350.577 in qualifying, up against New Zealand 353.422. And then by degrees they made it through, but this I think that qualifying time, they may well have been slowed up a little bit by catching Canada, who then went and sort of all fell off in a big way behind them. So whether that delayed them, not sure that particular incident delayed them, but just having to catch their rivals may well have just taken the edge off their qualifying time. And then New Zealand stepped up in the first round proper in the times that they produced, 354.3. And the Australians 354.1. So just a couple of tenths between them when they went into the first round proper. The Australians underway. Sam Welsford, Cameron Meyer, Kellen O'Brien and Alex Porter.
So Rowan Wright misses out on the gold medal ride. And we said yesterday, didn't we, about Cameron Meyer being rested?
Well, we wait for full confirmation of that, because as I say, they have given us different teams. So early honours, early advantage.
This is going to be close. This is going to be very, very close indeed.
Very anxious. As I say, it's the ultimate grudge match, isn't it? Australia against New Zealand. There are no bigger rivals in the world of sport, and the Aussies add another couple of tenths of a second to their advantage. So New Zealand are going to have to find something. Australians, as I say, quicker in first round qualifying. Then when they headed into the first round proper, well, there was only a couple of tenths of a second between them. So the New Zealanders had made something up. Have they got another gear left? Is there anything left in their tank? Half a second to the good. So the Aussies have come out of the gate flying.
Yeah, and trying to put the Kiwis under pressure is working at the moment. It's gone out from half a second to 3/4. So we're very early on in this race, just over quarter distance. The Aussies already stamping their authority on it. Don't forget, in qualification, they were 5/10 of a second off of the world record. World record set by Great Britain in Rio of 350.265.
Cameron Meyer is in there all right. He's pushing hard to try and get the Aussies back on terms, or extend their advantage is probably a better way of saying it. Sam Welsford as well has been such an important member of their squad in recent times. Second to the good. Have they extended it? Well, it came back a little bit, but just a hundredth of a second gained. But it's the right signal, isn't it, coming from the New Zealand squad. They have to stem the tide a little bit. And it's come back a little bit more, so now down to just under 8/10 of a second. So the tide is with New Zealand, but they have a long way to go. And indeed, there's quite a few laps of this track left to go. Just a little bit over half distance, so, well, 1,500 metres remaining. That's 6 laps of this velodrome. Doesn't sound like a lot. And it's down to 3/10 of a second, so it's a massive push by the New Zealanders. And they're getting the encouragement from their coach. And the Aussies are down to 3.
It's neck and neck now, less than 1/10 of a second, coming up to a kilometre to go. This will be a good indicator of what the final time's going to be.
Porter, Meyer and Welsford on duty for the Australians, and that's who's going to have to do it. And the New Zealanders in turn are also down to 3.
World record pace at the moment. We're just a shade outside world record pace. If they keep going like this, it's going to be very close. The Kiwis, though, they're losing it again. They were up momentarily. They're now down 6/10 of a second down.
So the Aussies push again, 8/10 of a second. They're going for it in a big way. 350.265 seconds. That's the time they're chasing. That's the world record to Great Britain from Rio. But more importantly, they're going for the World Championship gold medal. It looks as if it's surely theirs to hang on for at this point. Sam Welsford, Cam Meyer and Alex Porter are on duty for the Australians in the back end of this men's team pursuit final in Hong Kong. And surely there's nothing that New Zealand can do at this moment, but what is the time going to be? Let's watch for the clock. The champions are Australia. They have taken the victory. 351.503. It's not a world record, but it is a very impressive performance nonetheless. And it's all thumbs up from the Aussies as they celebrate another World Championship success. Superb effort, and see what that means to him.
So Gary Sutton, there it was, the Australian national coach. He's been involved in one way or another for many, many years. Used to this one, used to the pressure, used to the riding.
Well, Cam Meyer has come back from the road to be a real boost to the Australian track team. And he celebrates with all his fellow countrymen. Well, in the end, a dominant performance, but it was a good scrap for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it seesawed, didn't it? In the middle, it went to and from. So, very interesting one there. And you had on paper the Australians taking it quite comfortably. There was 3 seconds between them in the
qualifying
semi-finals, qualifiers, yeah. So you would have had odds on them taking this one, but in the end it came down to it. It was very close. And
key moment was the Kiwis losing their...
I think so, when it went down to 3 riders, yeah. And although the Australians went down to 3 riders, they just tended to handle it a bit better. The Aussies there just clipped one of the sandbags coming into the finish. But yeah, it was a great ride by the Aussies, and you know, I think it goes to show that team pursuit world record, I think that's in danger in the not too distant future.
In the end, it was 1.3 seconds, but they were on record pace on a different day with a different opportunity. I think all they wanted, though, was that gold medal there. No lack of satisfaction from the Australian team here.
Yeah, you don't break world records on a regular basis, and this probably isn't the best track to try and break a world record on. It's not that hot. There's not that many spectators in here compared to usual. You know, tracks like London, you get 6,000 spectators in there. It's much warmer. There's much higher pressure than there is out here.
Look what that means to them. Sam Welsford did such great work. The Aussies are champions. Australia take the men's team pursuits from New Zealand. We'll be back with the rest of the programme after these.
Riding.
Well, they've swept the Australians off the track eventually, and there's a sea of Aussie flags in